All right, so we are on a independent tour, Sensation Ferries. We got a ticket round trip, $50 a person. And here we are getting on the ferry. And this includes getting from the ferry to Virgin Gorda Baths and back, a little shuttle. And I turned off the sound because it was very windy and you would hear lots of wind. And we are here on Adventure of the Seas, which you see there in the background behind Phil. We have been docked next to the Disney Fantasy. Now, the only bad thing about this day was we got here, scheduled arrival was noon, gangway down at 12:30, all aboard at 7:30, and it gets dark about 6:15. So that was the only drawback, is we're limited on things to do because our late arrival, because I wanted to get a catamaran to Joost van Dyke, and all of the companies basically leave you, take you out about 10, by no later than 10. And so we were too late getting there to do anything else other than things on Tortola or take the ferry to Virgin Gorda to go see the baths. I'd been to the baths before on a catamaran, and this time I'll be coming in from a different angle. The last time I got a catamaran, they took us within about 100 yards of the beach. They dropped anchor, and we swam to the shore at Devil's Bay. This time on the ferry, we would get there, get a shuttle to Virgin Gorda, the baths at Virgin Gorda, and we would have to walk from the entry to the park, which has a $3 entry per person. And there we are driving by the Jewel of the Seas. This was a 7-night Eastern Caribbean cruise. Went to Coco Cay, Tortola, and where did we go? Coco Cay, Tortola, and St. Croix. That's where we went. There's a beautiful shot of the Adventure of the Seas as we were taking this ferry. Now, the ferry does have indoor seating, and I chose to sit outside to see some views and take some videos. And there we are leaving Tortola. The inside of the ferry, as I said, was air conditioned. It has TVs, overhead TVs, and it has comfortable chairs, comfortable seating in there. And so I chose to sit outside this time. And there you can see Disney Fantasy docked next to us. And this catamaran got up to a good speed of about 45 miles an hour. There's our ships. The weather was smooth sailing on the way here to Tortola. Later on in the week, when we left St. Croix and headed back north to Fort Lauderdale, it got pretty rough the last day and a half. And the last evening it got a little better. Here we are starting to now get up to speed, and we are leaving Tortola, and there's still parts of Tortola, as you can see. Tortola is a pretty big island. It's one of the bigger islands in the British Virgin Islands by area. It might be the biggest. Virgin Gorda is actually pretty big, but it has a lower population. I think Tortola, Road Town, is the capital of Tortola. And so the ferry is now moving at a pretty good clip here, about 40 miles an hour. It took about 25 to 30 minutes to get from Road Town, Tortola, to the ferry spot in Virgin Gorda. I'm going to skip ahead here. This video doesn't go the whole 25 minutes here. I do skip parts here, so hang on and stay tuned, because upcoming you'll see our trip into the baths when we had to hike. It was a pretty decent hike. It was moderately strenuous hike getting down to the baths once you get to Virgin Gorda. So although the baths are pretty cool to see, it's not for the mobility impaired. And we're still seeing part of Tortola as we are heading out, going at almost top speed. But the baths were named for the granite batholiths that form these curious rock formations above ground. These are granitic rocks. They are of diorite composition for those geologists out there, and they have been formed inside the earth. Magma cooled and crystallized into the granite, and then subsequent crustal uplift from continental oceanic collision caused these magma chambers that had formed granite inside the earth to be uplifted above the surface, and you will see the curious formations there. The granite is all rounded and eroded, and along the coast, most of Virgin Gorda consists of granite batholith. And so these rocks are right along the shoreline in one part of the island, and they just call them the baths after the name batholiths. And there's the large part of Tortola off in the distance. That's actually still Tortola there in the background. And I forgot what island that is, but there's a number of the islands in this area are part of the British Virgin Islands. British Virgin Islands has several islands, unlike the U.S. Virgin Islands. U.S. Virgin Islands has St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John. British Virgin Islands, see if I can rattle them off. You got Tortola, you got Anegada, you got Joost van Dyke, you got Virgin Gorda, you got Norman Island, Peter Island. And here we are passing a ferry boat. Well, it's actually like a transport of a boat. It could transport other things. There's a lot of ferry service between Tortola and Virgin Gorda. There's a lot of people that live in Tortola and work in Virgin Gorda, and vice versa. You see people commuting to work on these ferries. So we have left Tortola off in the distance. There's another small island. All of these islands were formed from volcanic and plate tectonic activity. Here we are passing a sailboat. They call the British Virgin Islands the sailing capital of the world because there's many sailboats that stay there. It's a beautiful, beautiful place to go island hopping. Cooper Island is another one of the British Virgin Islands. How could I be remiss in mentioning one of my favorite places, Cooper Island? The only thing that Cooper Island is called the Cooper Island Beach Club, and you can get there by catamaran only. And I highly recommend, if you are able to take a catamaran tour, make that one of your stops and go to the Cooper Island Beach Club. You can get yourself there a bushwhacker and a painkiller. And stay tuned later on in this video, because after we go through the baths, we walk back up to the bar. There's a bar up there at the entrance, and they have amazing drinks. We had the bushwhacker, and fabulous drink. And you can see there Tortola and the way in the background. These are some of the other islands. I don't remember the name of these, but there are tons of islands making up the British Virgin Islands. And we're almost there, I promise, so hang on here. The ferry ride was, like I said, about 25 minutes. Going back, it took a little longer because they weren't going as fast. I don't know why, But we had a situation at the end, and you need to see what happened because we almost had very bad disappointment. But there was a situation with the ferry going back. And all right, so here we are any second. And now we're going to show you we are pulling up to Virgin Gorda. And you can already see the beautiful water and beach right here by the little ferry terminal. And we made it to Virgin Gorda. We're going to get off the ferry back to the sound. And we're going to take the little shuttle over there to Virgin Gorda. All right, so we got off the ferry. That was a 35-minute ferry ride. Again, that was Sensation Ferries. It was a little rough ride. We're going to get our transfer over here, and then we'll have our $3 that we need to pay. We have to do that at the Virgin Gorda's park, so we'll see you over there. All right, it's a very hot day here in Virgin Gorda. We're on the little shuttle over to the baths. And very hot. Make sure you bring water shoes to go here. Of course, sunscreen, waterproof bag would be helpful. Your feet will get wet. Alright, we're making our way towards the baths. There's some cactus. All right, we made it to the baths. We had to wait in line to pay, but we got about 2 hours and 25 minutes till our little shuttle leaves. So this is what we're looking at right now. So we're going to get over to the caves here. It's a one-way loop. So once you exit, you can't go back in unless you repay. So, all right, let's turn it around and show you what we're seeing. Okay, so you do have to watch your step here. I just fell. You'll have to watch the blooper reel. As I stepped down, I guess my foot got in a little gully or something. And anyway, we've got some cactus over here. All right. Yeah, we'll keep walking. Look at the cactus.
Right there. Stop. Stop. Turn around. Not too close. It's far away enough.
And it is as hot as it looks. It is as hot as it looks.
Oh, it's hotter. Let's go.
All right. We got past the group of people. So now you get to see the real hiking trail without any people. All right, so there is Devil's Bay. That's where I came in last time here. We swam to the beach and into the caves, so we didn't even come up here last time I was here on an excursion. But you do have to be careful watching your step and also account for the time to walk back to the entrance, because if you have a taxi or a shuttle waiting to go back, you don't want to miss it. Okay. All right, so we're going to go to Devil's Bay. Not sure why everyone's going that way. Let's look at the sign. Well, the caves, that's why. Yeah, to the left is a beach. We're gonna go this way. And we're going down. We're almost there. All right, here is Devil's Bay, which is your little beach. You can see all of the granite batholiths. Another part of the trail went to the left, and that's where those people are, Devil's Bay. Water feels pretty good. So yeah, we made it to Devil's Bay. It's beautiful. There's actually little caves over here you can walk through. I'll show you that in just a second. Oops. Part of the caves, not the official caves, but it's part of the granite batholiths. As you can see here, really cool. Alright, so this is just the Devil's Bay. This is not the caves, just to let you know. But just checking it out here. There's some photos. Really cool, really unique. So that is part of Devil's Bay. Okay, so we We saw Devil's Bay. We're gonna come back here and go around these rocks on the left. Go to the cave. This was declared a national park in 1964. Also cool looking caves. Look at these. You can climb from where we just were over there back over to here. They do all interconnect. Okay, let's go back to the trail. Go to the baths.
I need to put on my bathing suit. You don't have your bathing suit on?
All right, so here we go. All right, so you can see part of the baths are in there. You can walk through different areas. Let's go around here. Kids crying, there's fish in the water. Oh my. I remember this. I remember this. I remember climbing through this. All right, we're gonna climb up this thing. Okay, it's a lot of low bridges here. And there is some climbing. Sometimes the rocks are a little slippery because there's sand on it, wet sand. You climb through here. All right, so lots of low bridges. Climbing through. Oh boy. I'm sorry?
This is taking us away from what we're supposed to be doing.
Look at that. Okay, this part is kind of treacherous. It is very steep. Look at those steps. I should probably go backwards doing this. I'm gonna go backwards. All right, I'm gonna go down backwards slowly. And I advise holding on. There is a rope over here. And there is more here. Okay. All right. We made it into this cave in here where the water is. This is awesome. I'm going to turn it around. All right, so we came down that steep stairs that goes up there. And there's a whole network of rocks that are just sitting here. We're gonna go this way. I remember this from the last time I came. Can't go that way. So we have to go this way. Look how the light shines in. This will eventually dump you out over to another beach, if I recall. But let's see. Hopefully nothing in my pockets that need to be dry. Look at this. This is cool. Very interesting. Lots of caves. I think that's the end of the line here. Look at that. Okay, so just observing the way the light hits the water in here. It's really beautiful. I hear people above me, I think. I don't know. But you have to still watch your step. I think I'm gonna go back up the steps. When I was down in the water there, I could not see a place to continue to go through. I could not find a one-way loop. So I'm just gonna go back the same way I came. It's probably the wrong way, but that's okay. There's another part of the caves. Don't remember this part, but I'm gonna climb it up anyway. Very slippery. All right, found another cool part. Might have come this way. I don't know. But that's really cool. I know, there's another being there. 1, 2, 3. This is cool. Great shot. And as you can see, there's all kinds of places to explore here. But I think I'm going to try to find my way back. So let's see. All right, we're going to try another path. It gets kind of deep, I think. My backpack is waterproof, so, oh gosh, don't fall. Don't fall. You can feel the tidal currents. The problem is here, you don't quite see where you're stepping. Oh, I see. Really pretty though. Well, I'm not going to walk through there just to go to another beach and then have to come back the same way. So I'm going to gingerly come back here and not fall.
Don't think too bad.
Yeah, I'm going to start winding my way back. I've seen enough. You got the idea. I had one fall. You'll see it on the bloopers, so make sure you stay to the end. And I'm going to make my way up here. I'm going to try this way. Yeah, accidentally turned it off. I almost slipped here, but that's how you get up one of the entrances. All right, so we're almost back up. It's supposed to be a one big loop, but I got lost and I'm just backtracking. It was about 25-minute hike to the baths and the cave and Devil's Bay. And here's the part near the beginning of the trail, kind of where I slipped a little. All of this is granite, looks like diorite type granite. Lots of silica, silicon dioxide, quartz, and of course some biotite and manganese and magnesium and other, only probably 10% dark minerals. So that's your geology lesson for the day. That's a pretty cool landscape. Look at that thing. That thing's huge. He's shaking his tail at me. Be careful. Oh. All right. I feel like I'm hiking down a desert trail. You can hear my Crocs. Lots of little butterflies here. It's a good hike. So it's moderately exerting for the hike. Definitely have to be in halfway decent shape. Not mobility impaired friendly. Bring a cold bottle of water or water bottle, something that would help. And at the end of the hike, get back there early enough before you're shuttled back to the ferry. Get a drink, like a bushwhacker. That's what I recommend. You can get a painkiller too, or a bushwhacker. There's another one of these blue lizards. It's about 12 inches long. It's really cool. Made it out to the little place here, Mad Dog, and get yourself a bushwhacker. Oh my gosh. Nice view, nice breeze. Good stuff.
Sharon, is that yours half gone?
No, that's mine is half gone. It's very nice. They have Carib beer. They have bushwhackers. Nice cool breeze. It was hot in the sun, but these are only $10, not bad. All right, so we are just chilling here at the Mad Dog. Woof woof. It's a little, I don't know what you call this, a pavilion. It's got beer, it's got bushwhackers. You gotta come here and get a bushwhacker for 10 bucks. They got painkillers. They have Carib beer. I just had a Carib beer and I had a painkiller first, then a Carib beer. I had a Carib beer in honor of my wife because I know if she was here, she would want an ice cold Carib beer. Even though they have Corona, come on, this is better. So come to Mad Dogs after you do your hiking down to the baths in Virgin Gorda. Get yourself a bushwhacker. Seriously, it is like a mudslide on steroids. That's what it is here. This is an independent tour through your own. Sensation Ferries, $50 plus $3 admission to the Virgin Gorda baths. And if you do this through the ship, it's like $99. So it's better to do it on your own. And we allowed enough time to come back here to chill for about an hour, to get some drinks, to just sit in the shade here and enjoy the views. And it's just a gorgeous day. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. If we got here earlier today, I would have gone and got a ferry and gone out there to Joost van Dyke. There. See that big mountain out there? That's Joost van Dyke. That's where I would have gone, to the Soggy Dollar Bar, the home of the original painkiller. That they have painkillers here Sharon, you should get a painkiller. It's got nutmeg. It's a good drink. It's not a frozen drink. It's kind of like that, but without the chocolate and with nutmeg, and it's really good. So that was Virgin Gorda. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, just give it a thumbs up if you liked it. It's free. And if you're not subscribing already, hit that subscribe button, because that's also free. And stay tuned for the blooper at the end. And we'll see you back on the ship. All right, so we are heading back on the ferry. And we did have a little situation. So stay tuned at the end. It's actually contained in the bloopers and outtakes. So I pointed to Cooper Island right there, one of the British Virgin Islands, and then Norman Island is next to it. Cooper Island's beautiful. And they're just enjoying the scenery. I went up top this time on the ferry, and it was, we weren't going as fast going back as we were going to Virgin Gorda, but I was just really enjoying the peacefulness, the beauty. And once again, off there in the distance, there's Cooper Island right there. And the British Virgin Islands, known as the sailing capital of the world, because lots of sailboats hang out here. And here we are chasing the sun. And a successful day in the baths at Virgin Gorda. But stay tuned for the explanation of what happened when we tried to get on the ferry coming back. It was a little situation. And here we are, Adventure of the Seas, our ship on the left, and the Disney Fantasy on the right as we were coming in back to Road Town in Tortola. So stay tuned for the bloopers and outtakes. And the ferry ride was 25-30 minutes each way. And I just enjoyed this beautiful scene coming back into Tortola. And there's our ship on the left, Adventure of the Seas. So it was right here. It was about 5:30. So it gets dark a little early there. They are going through a time change, I guess, in the week after this was taken. So don't forget to stay tuned for the bloopers. Okay, Tortola off in the distance. Where we came from.
Yes, I can see it. Don't worry about it. What did you move?
We have cactus. It's very hot here. And the baths was named for the granite batholiths that have granite that formed inside the earth, and with uplift they were exposed to form the curious rock formations you see. So I'm just wearing Crocs. If you go in the cave, there is some water in there, so your feet could get wet. It's much cooler in the shade. And I just fell. Yeah, I'm fine. We'll put that in the blooper reel. All right, so we have about 35 minutes till our taxi. We are just chilling here at, what's the name of this place? Wild Moe's, or I don't know, something.
Aaron, what's the name of the place?
Shit. All right, so I made it back on the ferry, but we had a situation here. Our little sensation ferries that we booked independently got us back to the dock, and they said, oh, hold on a second. you can't board this ferry. We have to let the Royal Caribbean ship excursions get on first, so we're gonna drop them off and come back and pick you up. That's an hour. That is a freaking hour. Me and my homies, we just snuck off the ferry. We just infiltrated into the crowd. We got on this ferry. I'm not gonna wait 1 hour on a freaking shuttle bus waiting for them to ferry one group of people back to Tortola. They said, oh, the ship will be full, but we gotta take the other excursion back first. No, we did our own thing. We got off, we infiltrated, we're on the ferry. Let them other suckers wait for another hour. All right, so this is supposed to be the 4:45 ferry. It's 5 o'clock. We need to get the hell out of here. So there's Tortola, that's where we're going. I'm gonna shut the sound off when I record this for the trip back, so you can enjoy the sights. Not the sounds, but just the sights. Maybe I'll add some commentary. Okay, they're firing up the engines. Our infiltration plan worked. We snuck back on the ferry and we're pushing off. And we're gonna make a top speed of 46 miles an hour. It's a very fast ferry. It's about a 35-minute ferry ride back to Road Town, Tortola. And here we go. We made it. See you on the flip side.